Welcome to Traveling Adventures, your quest for love. This show is for singles searching for the perfect lifelong partner, potentially, of course. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let us go ahead and begin, shall we? Which country do we have for today? Mystery will be revealed right now. The beautiful, and I mean beautiful, country of Greece. By golly, if you have to have a bucket list, make sure Greece is on that list. If you want to talk about a beautiful place and so much more beautiful things, then Greece better be on your list. But honestly, so many countries can be on your bucket list. Depends what kind of bucket we're talking about here. A family size, because there's a lot of beautiful countries in this world. So get out there, buy a plane ticket, find the best deal, whatever you have to do, make it happen. Especially if you are single or in a problematic relationship, whether you're married or not. It's time to abandon ship. Just jump out. It's time to find somebody new. So what better place? We're going to be taking a look at the good and the bad people of Greece. Let's see how Greek people really are. And without further ado, let's go ahead and begin with the good men and women of Greece. Always like to start on a positive note. And for those of you new to the show, we always start off with the good first. Then we'll move into the bad. So let's smell the roses. The Greek roses, that is. Alright, so starting with the Greek women. What makes them so special? Got here a little bit of a top 10. I like to switch it up between top 10 or paragraph descriptions. Okay, so she'll feed you until you can't move. I'm sorry, people. I didn't expect this. Wow, that's the most hilarious line I've ever read in this show, in this entire series. I mean, I expected this to be in the Mexican show, for Mexico, which is also true, but hey, Greece takes a spotlight today, okay? Move aside, Mexico. She'll feed you until you can't move. I don't know about you, but I do love food. Eat responsibly, what can I say? Wow, her love is on the plate. Oh, okay, wow, so there's a lot more to eat here. And saying no is an insult. Wow, you won't find me saying no to that offer. I mean, a happy stomach, a happy sexual appetite. I mean, what else do you want from a woman? That's one of the most powerful openings I've ever seen in this entire series so far. Mamma mia. Wow, I'm just blown away. Her house is spotless. Wow, another huge plus. It's a point of pride for her. Although, I do believe that it's a mutual responsibility, don't get me wrong, but when the women do it, they kind of teach the men how to do it better most of the time. It's not that men are sloppy, but they tend to be. Like a public showcase of her capability. Well, pride is everything. It shows that you love your domestic life, you take pride in your partner, and your life in general. You're happy. When somebody has a clean home, it's okay to be messy sometimes, but you better get around to it because that really will help you tremendously, Seek some feng shui, like make things clearer, more consolidated. You don't have to be an extremist minimalist, but you got to take pride in the house that you live in, okay? Cross her family and you're done. Her loyalty to them is absolute. But if you're in, they'll treat you like a prince. Okay, so men out there, you better be careful with the Greek families out there because she's going to be most likely attached to them in a good way in this case. There's always a good and a bad. She's not shy in bed. Wow, that's what I love to see. It's straightforward, healthy, and important to her for a good marriage. Absolutely, just preach. Preach to the passionate. I mean, shyness, being a man of few words, no, not for a passionate Greek woman. No, none of that weakness. So, sorry guys out there, if you're a little shy, well, she's going to teach you how to be brave and bold, how to be a real man. A real lion in that bedroom. Need a doctor, a plumber, a favor? She knows a person. She works connections like a pro. Okay, something we've kind of seen in other episodes. She'll defend you in public like a lioness. There we go. Wow. What a coincidence. I just said be a lion in the bedroom. Well, there's your lioness. And since I'm a Leo, hey, you're talking my language. Gotta be able to roar. Double roars are better than one. Someone disrespects you and she's already tearing into them. That's exactly the type of partner you want. Not a pushover, not a little weakling. You stand up for your spouse, for your partner, if you're not married yet. Come on, a real man, a real woman, you got to open that mouth of yours, let them know, give the warnings. And if it gets physical, it gets physical. Of course, you should avoid violence, physical violence, but sometimes it's inevitable, especially if they lay a hand on you first. What are you going to do? You know, let them beat up your partner or take advantage of them? I mean, come on, people. So I like that word, those words there, you know, a lion, a lioness, right? She remembers everything. Your name, day, your cousin's birthday, the fact you liked a specific cheese, you feel seen. Okay, yeah, okay. This is a bit of a simple expression here. I like the fact that she remembers everything. There's so many passive partners out there like, yeah, whatever, and then it's just like, wow, you really care about me. Not. It doesn't sound like it, does it? I mean, let's get real here, people. I mean, do you want, a partner who's just like, yeah, sure, okay, honey. Like, it just mediocrity kills a relationship. Are you really listening? It's one thing if you hear your partner, but are you really listening to them? Look at the word listen, to list the things in your mind mentally, what they're saying. My goodness. So, hey, a Greek woman is paying attention. She has a temper that can clear a room. Well, she's a lioness, right? But it burns out fast. There's no cold, silent treatment for weeks. Well, I'd rather have a partner that, obviously I don't want her out of control. She's got to be reasonable because that's a sign of maturity and respect. But yeah, express yourself. Tell me what's on your mind. Don't give me this silent BS. Don't give me that. That's for losers. That's for weaklings. Let it out, right? Let's put it all on the table. That's what lions do. Lions and lionesses. Come on, people. No silent treatment nonsense. Silence is weakness. She's incredibly resourceful. Can make a feast from nothing. Well, I mean, we did open up with feed you until you can't move, right? And stretch a budget in ways you didn't think possible. Well, that's fantastic, because when the going gets tough, the tough get going, right? With her, you're never alone. You're suddenly part of a huge, loud, messy family that's always in each other's business. Well, that could be a good thing and a bad thing, but always shows up. Well, in this case, it's a good thing. Okay, so very powerful start with the Greek women. I love it. I love it. One of the most powerful starts that we've ever had in this series. Hands down. We've seen very passionate starts, don't get me wrong. But definitely a strong contender we have here. Let's go ahead and shift gears to the Greek men. What makes them so special? He'll romance you hard. Grand gestures. Constant attention. Makes you feel like a movie star. Well, doesn't every man want that? He's a fixer. Car broke? Bureaucratic nightmare? He'll make a call and it's handled. He finds solutions. Okay, well, and I have to correct myself there. He'll make you, women out there, feel like a movie star. All right? So that's always great. But yeah, Mr. Fix-It. Everybody wants a Mr. Fix-It. Okay? That's what a real man does. I don't know how it... Okay, find out. If you're not curious, curiosity doesn't kill cats, okay? That's a different interpretation. Find out how things work. You can save a lot of time and a lot of money. Yes, time as well, because... if you always go with the specialist, it's like, okay, I got to set up an appointment. I got to figure out if I can afford it. Who can I trust? Who do I recommend? You guys both figure it out. That, two heads are better than one, right? In public, he's your biggest hype man. He builds you up and makes it clear you're his. Yes. Yes. Because It's deceptive when a man is like, or a woman, by the way, but in this case, a man, when they're kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, she's with me. Like, why, why are you so apprehensive? Why are you so quiet about your relationship? You know, that could be a big red flag. People don't really consider that, but when you're proud of your relationship, you better speak loud and proud about it. You don't have to announce it to the entire world, but you know, when you're kind of shy, a little bit apprehensive, that's a red flag, man. What's the deal here? You know, you're trying to have one foot out the door. What's really going on here? So, I really like that. He's generous with his time, his money, even when he doesn't have much of it, or when he has it. In this case, his food. There's a hospitable spirit. Yes, you want a generous man by your side. You don't want a man who has gambling problems, or you know, he wants to save all the money and don't spend any of it, an extremist minimalist loser. You don't want that. Physically, he's very affectionate and confident. He takes charge and wants you to enjoy it. Absolutely. So they're on the same page here in terms of passion. He has strong opinions about everything: politics, sports, life, and loves a good, passionate debate. Okay, so, you know, good debate is fine as long as doesn't get out of control. I mean, you don't want, you know, arguments over something completely ridiculous, you know. That's good. You know, yeah, you see, that's what I mean by speaking up. You know, silence is weakness, right? You should have an opinion on everything. You can't just always be like, well, I don't know, I don't really care. Like, who wants to be with somebody like that? I know I don't want to be with somebody like that. Some mediocre loser. He's got a crew that's like brothers. It's a ready made social life and a support network. Okay, so that's really good to have connections in case you need some help. And you know, that could be simple things. If you're at work and your wife's at home and she needs help moving something, you got to have a guy you can trust just in case, or wait till you get home, whatever. It's just a small example, people. It's good to have people that you can rely on and trust. He's resilient. Life can be hard here, but he doesn't wallow. He cracks a joke and figures it out. There you go. Yeah, handle things with a bit of humor because life can be like very hard. You know, it's already hard as it is. Don't make a bad situation worse. He's proud of you. When he introduces you as his partner, you can see his chest puff out. Yeah, you know, that goes with number 3, you know? Makes it clear that you're his. So that's more personal, number 3, but number 9 here is more social. But that's how I explain number 3 as well. You know, have pride in your relationship. Don't be afraid to say, yeah, that's my girl, that's my woman. And then for the women out there, that's my man, because otherwise, it seems pretty fishy. Why you so quiet, right? All right, so he wants to be the provider. His ego is tied to taking care of his people, and that drive is real. Yes, so responsible, right? Okay, so a brilliant start, but we have to do the flip side of the coin, as always, what we do in this show. The bad men and women of Greece. Let's see the toxic ones that you need to avoid, because it's not always roses, is it? Let's get down into the garbage bin. Let's get into the landfill. Get our legs a little bit dirty here as we slosh through the trash. But special disclaimer. It's just ice cold warning for you all. The following does not apply to all men and women of Greece. So you've been warned. Don't be surprised. Don't get offended. None of that weak nonsense. You have to know, the toxic ones to avoid. Here's what they say about Greek men and women, beginning with the women of Greece. Her mother is your co-wife. Okay, we've seen this before. And she always wins. You will never be the number one woman in his life. And you'll never be her number one priority. Okay, yeah, so we kind of seen this before with toxic women. Yeah, the mother just takes charge and is all up in your business. Nobody wants that. So be aware of that. You know, they're strong with family, but that can go both ways, can't it? She nags constantly about how you dress, what you said, what you didn't do. It's a form of control disguised as care. Yeah, nobody wants a nagging, wife. Nobody wants a control freak, right? I mean, like, you should decide what you want to wear as long as it's reasonable, right? You guys got to collaborate, but you can't be controlling each other like puppets, right? The house is her kingdom, and you're just visiting. Try to help in the kitchen, you're doing it wrong. Oh my goodness. This can apply to other toxic cultures as well. Sit on that couch, you'll mess the pillows. Yeah, this tends to happen with minimalist extremists as well. They're just picky about everything. Like, just calm down, take a chill pill. Seriously. It's so annoying, and it's actually abusive behavior. It really is. It's just like, at the end of the day, what's more important, the damn pillows on the couch or your husband? Seriously. I mean, as long as he's not like a lazy slob making a mess out of everything you just cleaned, right? Then just don't overreact. Be reasonable. Just talk to him. My goodness. She holds grudges. All right, so this is all toxic. You messed up 5 years ago, she'll bring it up in a... Oh, my goodness. She'll bring it up in a fight today with perfect clarity. These are couples who just can't move on. And it's just like, okay, we're just beating a dead horse. Okay, you want to go back in a time machine 5, 10, 20 years ago. Like, get over it, right? I mean, like... Well, I can't forgive you. I don't give a damn. Are you in love with me or not? How many times you just kill the relationship right there? The more times you bring up the past over mistakes or misunderstandings, nobody cares, okay? You learn and you move on, right? Unless it was something catastrophic that you should have ended the relationship way long time ago, because otherwise that's why you're bringing it up over and over again. You couldn't move on, right? It's not fair. And it's extremely immature to do. No, you can't be in love with somebody like that. You just can't. It's like, okay, which times are we going to live in the future, in the past, or the present? You know what I mean? And unfortunately, so many couples go through this. This is an enormous international problem we're talking about here. This is the stuff that ends relationships. This is the worst thing I've even seen so far on this list. She's a social climber through the family. Every gathering is an assessment of who's doing better, and you're part of her display. So a trophy husband, well, who are you with? How good is your husband? And it's just like, oh my goodness, like you're not an animal in a zoo. This is really bad. It really is. I mean, who gives a damn about our family, what they think in a toxic way? It's all judgmental nonsense. It really is. The only two people that should ultimately matter is you and your partner. End of story. I don't care about the social ladder. I really don't. Her love is conditional. Well, all love is conditional. On your performance, provide well, make her look good, don't embarrass her, stumble, and the warmth vanishes. Well, abuse her and the love should vanish. It really depends what we're talking about. Like, love is 100% conditional, because if all of a sudden you turn abusive, I can't love you anymore, because you killed the love, and you can't force love in that case. Love is 100% conditional. Of course, this one's more. It's just more of a fake sense, right? So don't embarrass me. Don't make me look bad. This is like kiddie stuff. This is just really basics right here. She'll use sex as a reward and punishment system. We've seen this plenty of times. So it is international. It's a transactional lever she pulls. Got it. Everything is drama. A spilled glass of wine isn't a cleanup. It's a theatrical tragedy. Yes. This is similar to something else we've seen. It's like making such a coliseum out of a small park field, like, no, we're just at the park. We're not at an amphitheater, like the world's most famous coliseum. Like, you gotta why do you gotta amplify things on an astronomical level when it's not even like that, right? So a drama queen, nobody wants a drama queen. She'll spend your money to keep up appearances for the family. Wow, so very family oriented. I mean, it's similar to other cultures, but it looks like the Greeks take it extremely extra special, right? That fancy car, that's for the cousins to see, not for you to enjoy. Okay, so this is really dangerous, okay? If she's just going to be blowing off your guys' finances without your permission, without your, you know, collaboration, then that, no. That could be extremely dangerous. That could put you guys out on the street broke and homeless. It can get that bad. You marry her entire family's trauma, gossip, and feuds. You're now obligated to take sides in arguments. Nobody wants that. That's such bad drama that started before you were born. All right, let's go ahead and shift gears because that's just a joke. That is a horrible joke right there. Nobody wants that mess. So, pretty bad, pretty dirty for the Greek toxic women here. Shift gears to the Greek toxic men. He's a mama's boy. At 45, he'll still run to his mother's for dinner and do whatever she says. Okay, nobody wants a mama's boy, okay? You gotta have a mind of your own. Is this your life or your mom's extended life? And I've seen a mama's boy firsthand. You know, my older brother is one of them. He doesn't have a mind of his own. Everything that my toxic mother ever said, he did. And he continues to do to this day. Zero mind, zero intelligence. He's really good at math and science, but just because you're smart doesn't mean you're intelligent. Okay? And there's something called street smart. Well, that's for the streets. But when you don't have a mind of your own and you're being puppeted just by your own mother, it's really sad. It really is. It shows that you're not a real man. There's no sense of maturity. No woman should want that. All right. So he's always with his friends. All right. In his second home. Okay. We kind of seen this before. You'll eat dinner alone while he's drinking coffee and talking for 4 hours. Yeah. Well, that's another thing that I say. You really shouldn't need friends when you're in love with your partner. It doesn't mean like get rid of them, but go out with your spouse, right? I mean, it's already bad enough if you spend time away from your wife because you're working a lot. Why are you going to come back home and be like, hey, I'm going to go out with the guys? Okay, well, come back in like an hour, but 4 hours? You're going to really burn all that extra time that you could be spending with her? I mean, if she has an appointment or something, okay, that's a good time to schedule that. But it becomes toxic when you just leave your wife at home and she's like, oh, is she going to come? Then she's tired and then you just kill the entire afternoon that could have been so beautiful. And yes, every day is an opportunity. Okay, you never know how long life will last in the first place. Why are you going to be goofing off with your friends? You're not in love. Okay, that's just pathetic. It really is. Like drinking coffee and... my goodness, like, who are you in a relationship with at that point? And I know people will argue against this like a bunch of idiots, but that's the question. Like, how deep is your love? Because if you can split time, partition your time between your friends and your spouse, you're not in love. Like, stop lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're killing time. You're staying away from your spouse for a reason. I mean, if they have to, there's exceptions, but you know what I mean. This is the toxic way. It's just so immature. It really is. He's jealous and possessive of you, but thinks it's his right to flirt with every waitress. Okay, that's disrespectful, right? Why are you flirting? The double standard is insane. Right, so it is disrespectful, okay? Look, if a waitress finds you attractive and she says something and you both are there, kind of brush it off. I'm sure your wife will be okay with it because it's not you, it's them, right? He has a temper like a firecracker. One wrong word and he'll explode in a rage. Well, nobody wants a firecracker, okay? Then act like nothing happened an hour later. Yeah, okay, you gotta be accountable for that nonsense. That's a lack of maturity right there. He talks big about all the things he'll do. The business, the house, the trips. And then does nothing. All talk, no action. You gotta try, okay? Don't talk a big game, don't make promises you can't keep. As long as you're trying, that is action, okay? But don't just talk a big game and do absolutely nothing. That's sad, okay? He's financially irresponsible. He'll blow a month's savings on a big night out with the boys. You see, this is what I'm talking about. With the number two, right? With the boys to show off. You're not showing off. You're being a goofball. Then complain about bills because you're an idiot. What more can I say? Nobody, and women fall for this type of toxic guy. They're immature, they're irresponsible, and they complain when things go south. Well, the red flags were there. You just wanted to ignore them because, I don't know, he has a six-pack or a six-figure income. I mean, how foolish can you be, really? The signs are there. What kind of man are you really getting involved with? He expects to be served. Coming home to a cooked meal and a clean house is his right, not a partnership. Wrong answer, buddy. That's a privilege. That's a gift, from your wife. It's a mutual responsibility to keep the house clean. Newsflash, I don't care how tired you are from work. You have to do your chores. You got to pull your weight. Being a housewife, the real housewives who actually, they do real cooking, real cleaning, real maintenance and responsibilities. It's a full-time freaking job. So for the toxic idiots out there, the males who don't deserve to be called real men, for them to say, oh, a housewife, yeah, must suck to be her, right? Like, oh, must be nice to be you. Like so sarcastic. Those are a bunch of losers. They have no idea how much you have to be responsible in order to maintain a house in order, especially if you have kids. Is extremely underappreciated and extremely offensive. And I'm a man talking about this because I've seen throughout my life how housewives are extremely disrespected and used and abused on top of it. They're never appreciated. It's pathetic. So those guys don't deserve to be called real men. You always appreciate what your partner does for you and for your relationship and for the family. Just as much as she's supposed to appreciate you and your hard work. It's always mutual, okay? Like cooking and cleaning is 50-50, okay? He can't handle a serious emotional conversation. Oh my goodness. So here we go with the silent losers. I don't know. It just run away like a coward. The second things get deep, he gets defensive, makes a joke, or walks out. Yeah, immaturity galore. Immaturity on steroids. Nobody should want that type of loser male. His pride is more important than your feelings. He'd rather die than admit he's wrong or apologize sincerely. Okay, another loser. This is a loser's attitude, people. I mean, like, the red flags are there, right? One of the first things you do when you meet somebody is you have conversations with them. Well, notice how they respond to certain things that you say, right? It sounds like common sense, but you'd be surprised how uncommon common sense is supposed to be. Like, the red flags are there. Like, does he really care about what you're saying, how you feel, or does he always have to make it about himself? Or he just doesn't care. He'll change the subject or just laugh at things off. Like, nobody wants a joker, okay? And or apologize sincerely. Admit that you're wrong. When you admit that you're actually wrong about something, like if you're not wrong, then stand your ground. Die on that hill if you have to. But when you're wrong, you better admit that. Just get it over with. Everybody makes mistakes from time to time. Got it? You're his accessory. Your role is to look good, support him, make him look successful. Yeah, the trophy wife, right? And never ever outshine him. That's one of the worst. Who cares if she wants to get a college degree or maybe she makes more money than you, she does something better than you. Who cares? Be proud of her. Give her the opportunity to do so by working with her to make that happen. You guys are team members in a relationship. Who cares? The more the better. Because if something happens to you, well, she can pull the weight, right? She has the qualities, the credentials. She has the know-how. You got to be smart. Like, because it's a 50-50 relationship, all right? You guys have to learn how to rely on each other. And being able to rely on each other requires you to learn new things, to do things better. So this whole jealousy nonsense, like, well, she does it better than me and I'm a guy, I can't allow that. Oh my goodness, grow up, seriously. Or just crawl yourself in a grave and rot away for all I care. All right, so the final verdict that I have for Greece: beautiful, beautiful country, and the location. My goodness, the amount of countries you can visit from that area alone is outstanding. I mean, it really is a vantage point, a great vantage point. But I'm not here to give you a geographical lesson or be your historian or tour guide. I'm just saying that Greek people in general, maybe you find some Greek people in your neck of the woods if you're lucky enough. Not an extremely large population by any means, but if you're interested, as I said, this is a show mainly for singles and those of you who are getting divorces and breaking up. Fantastic country. And believe it or not, they actually love not just rap music, but they love heavy metal music. It's a really big thing, and that's pretty interesting about Greece. Once again, not being a tour guide, but what I'm trying to say is that they're very open-minded, they're very passionate people. And the location, I can't say it enough, it's so stunning. So, with that said, my final verdict is, yeah, not a lot of bad things. Compared to all the other countries we've seen, Greece is actually one of the top countries so far. I really love that start. Very traditional, but also very modern. They have a good blend. Little too much on the family side. I would like that to be a little bit toned down. Like a few points down, like, hey. But if it works in a very respectful way, their family is not a toxic family, then you're good to go. That's my only word of caution, is be careful with those families, right? But as far as the toxic stuff and the good traits, yeah, not too bad and pretty good. Pretty good. So I highly recommend Greeks if you're looking for a good relationship. With that said, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and share this video. Also, be sure to sign up for your free membership on my website. And best of luck on your quest for love. Much love, everybody.